Is West Virginia blowing it? Are they blowing it? Are they blowing their best chance to win a Big 12 championship since entering the league in 2012? This could have been the year, man. It could have been the year. But they could be blowing it. Let's talk about why they could be blowing it in this episode of Couz's Corner. So right after this word from one of my sponsors, we'll talk about it. Since 1931, the attorneys at Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner have been the voice for victims who have suffered serious injury or death. They have a fierce passion for truth and justice and a sincere compassion for those who have been wronged by others. Whether you have been in a car accident or fighting with an insurance company, or you or a loved one has suffered serious injury or death due to medical negligence, we will ensure your voice is heard loud and clear. Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner will ensure there is justice for all West Virginians because we are your lawyer, your voice. Visit us at yourlawyeryourvoice.com. What is up? Welcome into another edition of Couz's Corner. Come on in, make yourself comfortable, belly yourself up to that bar, and let me pour you out another shot of top shelf college football content on tap at Couz's Corner today. We're talking about why the West Virginia Mountaineers could be blowing their best chance to win a Big 12 title. Because after this year, they might be into somewhat of a rebuilding phase. That's right, a rebuilding phase. A lot of talk in the offseason, at least on social media by a handful of accounts, about how young this West Virginia team is and how talented they are. Yes, there's a lot of young talent on the West Virginia team. But unfortunately, at a lot of key positions, West Virginia has been relying on seniors for most of their production. And I'm concerned that losing so many seniors is going to make next year's team struggle even more than this year's team is. Yes, on paper, West Virginia still has a shot to get to Arlington this year. They're 2-1 in Big 12 play. Still have 6 conference games ahead of them. They could turn this thing around and end up playing for a Big 12 title. Absolutely. But the chances of that happening based on the way they've played so far this year, slim to none in my opinion. And I was watching a podcast, Country Roads Confidential, the other day with Chris Anderson and Mike Cazaza, and Mike went through the list of guys who they would be leaving, and I'm like, wow. I never really sit down and gave it a lot of thought, but they're losing a lot of starters off of this team. So I sit down and I put numbers to it. I looked at the numbers. West Virginia overall, according to my math, will be losing 13 starters, guaranteed to lose 13 starters off of this team on offense and defense. 7 on defense, 6 on offense. And that's not counting kicker Michael Hayes and long snapper Austin Brinkman. So they're losing 13 starters on offense and defense. That's a lot. You would have 9 returning starters for next year's team. Now, I dug a little deeper than that. I went position by position and looked at how many snaps each player has played this year for West Virginia and how many of those guys are seniors. First, let me just run down the list of the guys who started. Now, I'm basing this on who started the last game against Iowa State, okay? I'm just going to run down the list and tell you all the guys that they will be losing. Garrett Green, Cole Taylor, and this is starters only, by the way. Garrett Green, Cole Taylor, Brandon Yates, Nick Malone, Jaquay Hubbard, Wyatt Milam, Fatorma Mulba, Sean Martin, T.J. Jackson, Garnett Hollis Jr., Anthony Wilson, Aubrey Burks, Tyron Bradley. It's a lot of names. Let me throw out a few more names, guys who play and will be graduating. Justin Robinson, Dantes Fagan, a corner. Kikora Tarnu, a safety. Ty French, an edge rusher. A lot of names, a lot of seniors. And let's not forget Tomas Rimac, the one offensive lineman I didn't name, is eligible for the NFL draft. And right now, I would say he more than likely will be back. But it's possible he could play his way into the draft. He's right now rated, according to Pro Football Focus, he's the 21st rated guard in the country in overall offensive grade. 2024 draft, there were 17 guards taken. I'm not saying PFF is the end-all be-all, but it's just a measuring stick to kind of get an idea where how these guys are playing according to scouts. He's rated 21st right now in the country. There were only 17 guards drafted in the 2024 draft. So, it's very possible Tomas Rimac leaves as well. And he is a redshirt junior, so that means he could graduate if he hasn't already. And he may decide to go ahead and go pro. Who knows? Let's hope not, because they're going to need him. And let's also not forget about Edward Vesterinen on that defensive line. Will he get a medical redshirt that he's going to likely apply for after being hurt in the second or third game of the season? Because he's also a senior, technically. If he doesn't get that medical redshirt, then they're losing another guy who has started a lot of games in Morgantown. So let's go ahead and look at each position and how much production will be lost at each position. At quarterback, obviously, Garrett Green has played 92% of the snaps. He'll be gone. Now, a lot of the fans are high on Nico. I'm high on Nico myself. And there are a lot of fans out there who even think Nico should be starting already. Now, I'm not in that camp. I don't think Garrett Green is to blame for the issues that West Virginia's been. Is he partially to blame? Absolutely. Could he be playing better? Absolutely. Has he been turning it over too much? Absolutely. But there are a lot of other issues on this team besides Garrett Green. And I don't think benching him is the answer, at least not yet. I may change my mind in a week or two. But right now, I still think he's the guy. There are no seniors in the running back room. Not sure about Jalen Anderson, but that are contributing on a regular basis in the running back room anyway. Now, let's look at the offensive line. I've already talked a little bit about that. When you look at the percentages, if Tomas Rimac comes back for his redshirt senior year, West Virginia will still be losing 75% of their overall offensive snaps based on 2024 production. If he leaves and goes pro, they'll be losing 94% of their overall snaps and all 5 starters. I know the guys behind them are talented, supposedly, and I know the guys have played. But only 6% of the snaps. That's not a lot. That means there's going to be could potentially be some growing pains. It means it could potentially take some guys a few games to get accustomed to the speed, the size, the strength of the competition. That worries me a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm concerned about that. Now let's flip over to the defensive side of the football. And let's start off with the defensive line. Now, I mentioned Eddie Vesterinen could likely be back next year as a senior leader. Taking him out of the equation, the defensive line will be losing 61% of their overall snaps in 2024. Now, this is based on the first 6 games of this year, obviously. 61%. That's Sean Martin being a starter. That's T.J. Jackson as a starter. And the snaps he's played as a backup the first couple games. That's Fatorma Mulba as a starter. Then when you look at the spur position, it gets even worse. You've got Tyron Bradley and Ty French. Both are seniors. So both of those guys will be gone. So they'll likely have to go to the portal and get somebody, unless a true freshman Obina Onwuka can step up and be really good. And even if he does, they're going to need more than one guy at that spot. Who can fill that spot? It's going to be a huge question mark going into 2025. Now no reason to look at linebacker. All the linebackers, at least the ones who have played on a regular basis, are underclassmen. You've got redshirt freshman Josiah Trotter. I think redshirt junior Trey Lathan. You have Ben Cutter, who's a sophomore, true sophomore, and you've got Reed Carrico, who's a junior. They're all eligible to return next year. So I really love. Now it's one of my favorite rooms on the team because of talent and the fact that most of them will be back, assuming they don't transfer, of course. So let's go even further back and let's look at the cornerback spot. This is a spot that shocked me. I thought West Virginia was losing a lot more from this position. They're losing 46% of their overall snaps. They're losing Garnett Hollis Jr., who's been starting most of the season. And they're losing backup corner Dantes Fagan, the transfer from Charlotte. However, Aiden Garnes will be back next year, who has started most of the games. Garnes has played over 300 snaps on the season, the most of anybody at the cornerback position. He's a junior. He can be back in 2025. TJ Crandall will be back, should be back, and then Jacoby Spells should also be back in the mix. Now, I expect West Virginia will likely use the portal again for defensive backs. unless some of those freshmen or sophomores will be ready to step up and contribute in 2025. Let's look at the safety and spear positions. I'm putting safety and spear kind of one and the same here. You're losing Aubrey Burks, you're losing Anthony Wilson, and you're losing backup Kakora Tarnu, the transfer from Jacksonville State. Burks has been in and out of the game, in and out this year with injuries, but he's a senior leader on that team. He's a huge, huge piece to that team. But injuries, unfortunately, have kind of derailed him a little bit. Anthony Wilson has been very productive. Leads that position room in number of snaps played with 358. But one thing that's saving them from losing more than they are, which, by the way, is 63% of total snaps, the one thing keeping them from losing more than that is the fact that Jaheim Joseph, the transfer from Northwestern, is a junior. And he has played 345 snaps, which is second only to Anthony Wilson. So they're losing 92% of the quarterback snaps, 63% of the tight end snaps. I would say Cole Taylor's a bigger loss than 93% or 63%, to be honest. They're losing 75% or potentially 94% of their offensive line snaps, 61% of their defensive line snaps, basically 100% of their spur snaps, 46% of corner snaps, 63% of safety and spear snaps. It's a lot of snaps being lost in 2025. So I'm concerned that this team could actually take a step back when you're losing guys off the offense, when you're losing your starting quarterback and people off the offensive line, your entire starting offensive line potentially. That might be hard to recover from. Now, we assume Nico's going to be really good, maybe even better than Garrett, but that's not a guarantee. And how will he do behind an offensive line that's going to be a lot less experienced than what they've had the last two seasons? These are things that keep me up at night as a West Virginia fan. Does it keep you up at night? What do you think about the lost production this team's going to experience in the offseason between 24 and 25? That's why this team needs to turn this thing around this year, get to Arlington, win the Big 12 title, and get to a college football playoff, because it may not be as easy. It's never easy to attain, but it might be even harder in 25, because we all know the parity that exists in the Big 12 this year. There's not really an elite team in this conference. One of these teams could step up and be elite next year. We don't know. They need to take advantage of the experience they have on this team and get to Arlington this year, in my opinion. And for all the people who want Neal Brown fired, let's just assume, let's theoretically say Neal Brown does not turn the ship around and they end up having an average to sub-average, below-average season. And let's say that the powers that be, the Rim Bakers of the world, have a decision to make. If you're going to hire, they do decide to hire a new coach, would the offseason between 24 and 25 be the time to do it? You're going to be breaking in a new quarterback. You're going to be breaking in a new offensive line, a new defensive line. It's kind of a rebuild year, isn't it? At least partially. You're only returning 9 starters from this year's team. It's kind of a rebuilding year. And if you're going to have to rebuild anyway, why not do it with a new coach, right? So if they decide to move on from Neal Brown, in my opinion, they need to do it after this season, because I'm already concerned about 25 because of the pieces that are being lost. And again, it's no disrespect to the underclassmen. There's just not enough of them that are playing right now and getting experience. And that concerns me. Experience matters in college football. What do you think? I want to give a shout out right now to the VIP members of this episode. They are Brad Cheney, Jeremy Croy, Vernon Sheldon Witter, P.W. Riggs, and Roy Harrison. Thank you all for being a long-time paid VIP members here on the channel. Be sure to hit the join button below if you want to become a member, or go to my channel homepage. It's right there beside my profile photo. There are perks that go along with it. It tells you all about it. I'm an affiliate marketer of ONIT Athlete Trading Cards. If you want to get yourself some ONIT Athlete Trading Cards, the students at your university, most of you watching this are probably West Virginia fans. If you want to help out West Virginia's NIL, Buy some ONIT Athlete trading cards. The players get 60% of the profits. Your boy here gets a small commission off the sale if you use a link in my description box, or if you use the link over at couzescorner.com/shop. couzescorner.com/shop. Click the link to ONIT Athlete trading cards. Bada bing, bada boom, you're in. Get yourself some cards. I make money. The players make money. You get yourself some really cool collectibles. Take advantage of it today. Another shout out to my sponsors, BetUS Online Sportsbook Casino, Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner Attorneys at Law. Thank them for helping me keep the lights on. Thank you for tuning in. Check this one out in the top corner of your screen if you want more top shelf content. I hope the rest of your day, hope the rest of your night, weekend, whatever, hope it's all top shelf. And I hope you country roads.